What is a bounded context? This is a very, very common question. Almost in every microservices interview, you will get this question. So try to listen carefully and understand the concept. So bounded context is a concept in domain-driven design or DDD. Domain-driven design is a framework, it's a way of analyzing the systems for analyzing and modeling large problems, models, and teams. So we normally use it for solving large problems. The entire problem is a domain. For example, a drone delivery system is a domain. And in that domain-driven design, a domain model is the representation of a real thing in the world, such as a drone, a user, or a package, similar to object-oriented programming when a class represents a real thing. Now, a bounded context is simply the boundary within a domain where a particular domain model applies. What that means is that, say you have a domain called order or product. Now, when we work with the product or with the order, in order to receive the order, we do one thing with it. When we want to ship that product or fulfill that order, we are dealing with it in a different way. If somebody calls the customer support and asks a question about the order, for example, they say it's delayed or I received the product and it had a problem, we deal with that order and the product again in a different way. The way we deal with that model is the bounded context. And that is important because in microservices architecture, one bounded context represents one microservice. So when you design microservices, that is how you define what your microservice will include. So to understand it, we can look at this example. So in this example, we have two bounded contexts. One of them is the sales context and the other one is support context. To understand what I'm talking about, let's just look at the customer and product models. So customer is a shared entity across the entire system, and between the two contexts, so is the product. However, the way we deal with customer and the product in the sales context is different. For example, in sales, we want to receive the order, and then in the support context, you have fulfilled the order, but the customer has a question or they have a complaint. Now, the way we deal with customer and with the product is different. That is why they are different bounded contexts.